Hey everybody, Mulcher up here, coming at you with Game 4 of the Pro League playoffs between CJ and Jangbi, Day 2. Um, again, um, did I just say CJ and Jangbi? I meant CJ and Khan. Sorry, I was chewing some gum. I had to pull it out there. I realized it wasn't going to help me talk to be chewing gum, even though I was chewing gum in honor of Lomo. Anyway, this is going to be Much versus Jangbi, rather. Much representing CJ Entis. Jangbi representing Samsung Khan, and they're actually tied in their previous matchups. That's what this means. 2-2 in their matchups previously. I would not be surprised if one were one to look that up. One would discover that Much's wins were earlier in his career, when Jangbi had not quite broken out as a major force in the StarCraft world yet. Jangbi has just really skyrocketed in the last year, from being sort of second-tier Protoss to really being a star. I mean, one of the 6 dragons, one of the 6 Protoss leaders in the StarCraft community, StarCraft world, and he is really going to be favored here. Much has got some fighting to do if he's going to keep CJ in this game, because once Khan gets up 3-1, it is going to be difficult for CJ to scrape their way back into the game without losing a single extra match. Although CJ has done that sort of thing before, they are good at winning in dire situations, especially when Sky High is on the docket. But Sky High has already lost, so he's not going to be able to save CJ this time. Anyway, yes, I have another amusing anecdote though about going to Comic-Con. Actually, it's about coming back from Comic-Con. Like I said, I was staying on Dignity's couch while I was staying down there. By the way, this is Much, the purple Protoss. Got the color of power going for him here. And he's in the 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock position. Jangbi's going to be the teal Protoss up in the 11 o'clock position at the northern end of the map. And this is Destination. Not surprising to see a Protoss versus Protoss here, actually. Usually you see, well, actually you see a lot of different races on here. But anyway, yeah, so I was sleeping on Dignity's couch, and Dignity actually left. He went out of town, and also the other roommate of Dignity's that I know also went out of town. So I was just stuck there on Dignity's couch, and the only other person there was this other guy who was a roommate of theirs who I don't really know. And he has a penchant for locking me out when I'm staying on Dignity's couch. I had to actually call Dignity one night at like 1 in the morning and be like, can you unlock your door so I can sleep on your couch? And he's like, I told my roommate to not lock the door, but I guess he did. So anyways, I didn't want to get locked out, especially since I was leaving the next day and didn't want to like have to leave all my stuff there. So I went and slept on a friend's floor instead, and then it was too uncomfortable, so I slept on the lazy boy. Point being, I didn't get any sleep, and the next day was a tiring trip, 500 miles back to Sacramento, and when I got back, I was just ridiculously tired, and I got back at like 5, so I probably went to sleep around 5:30, and I woke up at like 11 today. Yeah, for those of you that suck at math, that's 17 hours of sleep. More than 17 hours of sleep. I did not expect to sleep that long. I didn't know I was that tired, but apparently I was, and wow, I slept for a long time. Anyway, so I think it's probably one of the longest amount of times I've ever slept. I think I slept for like 20 hours or 24 hours one time when I had stayed up for like 2 days straight. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the game. Yes, Jangbi has been an absolute all-star. He's been doing very well. And Much has been poking along. He's always been solid. He's always been good. Well, not always, but I mean, the last couple of years he's been good, but he hasn't quite been, a superstar yet. He wasn't considered really one of the dragons, one of the really good Protoss players. And so, JB definitely has an advantage here. I mean, JB has gone up to toe-to-toe against some of the PvP masters. We're talking about Bisu and Stork and Best, and he's gone toe-to-toe with them. So Much is definitely at a disadvantage here, but he's a player that I wouldn't count out in this matchup either. There's some players, if it was Jangbi versus Violet, or, well, Violet's been playing okay, I guess, lately. If it's Jangbi versus, I don't know, some crappy Protoss Spear, or someone like that, I don't know. And then I would definitely favor Jangbi almost 100%. But Much has a chance. Much is a good player, and he has a chance of winning here. So we'll have to see what happens. Much putting down a second gateway now. Jangbi, I believe, is still on a single gateway. Upgrading range, yeah. So he's going for that early range upgrade. And we actually saw this the other day in a PvP. I forgot who the players were. I think it might have been Jangbi, actually, where he went for the range upgrades slightly earlier, and it gave him an early advantage. He was able to press into a map advantage, which he pressed into an earlier expansion, which he pressed into more forces, which he used to keep. I think it was Cal. Yeah, I think it was Jangbi versus Cal. That's what it was. It was from the playoffs, and he was able to own Cal eventually just because he had that earlier range upgrade. But it just came down to skipping a pylon to get the core up earlier. Went that far back. This is a different map, though. This is Destination. That was on Medusa. So if that were, it's a little bit different because if you have a disadvantage like that, you can fall back to your ramp or to the bridges, and so you can do better that way. And Jangbi putting out an expansion here. Much has a second gateway. Jangbi has an expansion, so it looks like he's going to go for that expansion, then probably go into some sort of tech and get a second gateway as well, I imagine, eventually. But he's going to need the tech to stand up if Much doesn't go for an expansion of his own pretty quick here. I think they're trying to show that they're both still upgrading range, and it looks like Jangbi has finished upgrading range. So here Jangbi has a bit of an advantage for the moment, where he can attack Much a little bit, and I'm not sure why he's going and not being a little bit more aggressive. Maybe he's worried about that range upgrade finishing from Much, but he has this advantage for the moment, and he needs to use it. I guess he is using it to keep Much in his base while he expands, and just block that ramp, but he could be a little bit more aggressive if he wanted to. Again, maybe he's just worried about it. And there he is, being a little bit more aggressive there. You see how he was able to get all three of his Dragoons in range, and actually it looks like Much may have finished this range upgrade as well. Those were going a little bit farther shots than I thought. Anyway, but that's why the range upgrade is important, because if you have it and the other person doesn't, you're showing Stork and effort, by the way. Basically, kind of the two of the superstar players for each team. They might be thinking about an ace match if it gets to that, although at this rate it doesn't look like it's going to get to an ace match. If Jangbi is going to win this game, which it looks like he will at this point. I mean, it's really early to call it, but Jangbi definitely has an advantage here. Which would put Khan up 3-1. But anyway, sometimes they show different matches that are coming up later. They'll show the people sitting in the stands and talk about, or sitting in the what's it called? The dugout, I guess, of the StarCraft world. They're sitting in the dugout and show them next to each other if they're going to play later. But Stork and Effort have already played. Already gotten wins for their team, actually. Oh, Probe's going to sneak through and see the expansion going up. So Jangbi is going to see that expansion, pretty much expected, but it also means that he hasn't gone for a ton of quick tech or anything like that. He's going to even get his probe all the way into the main and see all the tech. Wow. See, there's no shuttle yet. Absolutely nice scouting there for Jangbi. And so that means he knows that he doesn't need to rush to observers or anything like that. He's going to get extra gateways. He doesn't need to get those quick observers out if Much was going for, for a Templar build, going for early DTs or something like that. He'd need to make sure he gets his observers. Oh, Jangbi caught on the low ground, backing up, not wanting to engage battle at that location. Is going to, and Much still keeping the high ground. Nicely done. It's going to retain that position. Jangbi now at 4 gateways here. His economy is kicking in from that second base really well. He does have observers out.